What is up, you guys? How are we doing? Welcome to episode 3 of Chirping on Causeway. If you have not met us before, hi, howdy, what's up? We're Chirping on Causeway, brought to you by Boston Sports Entertainment Network. You can find them on Twitter at BSEN_617. You can find us at Causeway Chirps on Twitter. Hi. I'm Emily. You can find me at Hyper Emmy, and this is...
I'm Liv, and I guess we have a little special guest. This is my dog, Teddy. But you can find me on Twitter at Frent Frederick, and if you don't know the backstory to my @ name, you can go watch episode 1 and figure out why that's my name.
That's funny. I feel like we have not a lot to catch up on, but kind of a lot to catch up on. We've only had 2 games this week, but we last recorded Tuesday. We had found out that Jim Montgomery had gotten fired. Had been named head coach. We had a really crappy week of games.
Yeah.
And that was kind of where we left off. We've had 2 games in the week, and Joe Sacco, more Jim Montgomery news. Where do we want to start today?
I feel like might as well start with Jim, just because it's not. I'm personally not surprised that he landed a job so quickly. I was curious where he was going to go.
Where it is either, though,
right? Because he has ties to St. Louis, and I think he's happy with where he landed. Obviously, we found out it's a 5-year deal. So that was interesting.
Yeah. So yesterday morning, St. Louis Blues announced that they hired Joe Montgomery mid-season. Jim Sacco, Jim Montgomery.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things happening.
Names.
That they hired Jim Montgomery, fired their coach mid-season.
Yeah.
5-year deal. And we come to find out later in the afternoon that they specifically fired their coach because Jim became available. Jim has family ties and professional ties to St. Louis. And it sounds like they were kind of waiting for this day, essentially.
Yeah. And I'm kind of one to, might as well keep it interesting and keep some theories alive, but I'm almost wondering if, I don't know, maybe Jim was ready to leave Boston, and maybe some, what's the word? Conspiracy.
Yeah.
Is that maybe he was not upset with their bad start, and not saying he did it on purpose, possibility, but we never know. But either way, I'm happy for him. Obviously, I'm happy for him, and I think they're going to do very well now. They'll win the cup next year, no biggie. No, I'm joking, but
yeah.
That's
typically how it goes. I mean, they hired him within, was it 5 days?
I believe so. Yeah.
5 days of him becoming available. Also, with that, it sounds like they were potentially waiting in the off season too, with when they. I forgot their other coach's name already. It's been a long Monday.
I'm gonna say it's Dean something or.
Yeah. But they had waited to potentially sign him. It sounds like it.
Right.
They had waited until Boston was out of the first round and it had been a few days, and then they re-signed their coach to a new contract.
Yeah.
It's just it's all very weird. The entire situation on their end is weird.
Kind of feel for the guy a little bit.
Yeah. I would hate to be in that position. You find you're second banana to this dude.
Blatant. They confirmed it for you.
Yes.
They were hey, by the way, we're going to put it online that as soon as we knew we could have Jim, you were out of the door.
Literally. It just, whatever. And I keep, they keep saying what is it? Coaches are hired to be fired or whatever.
Yeah.
1, I hate that. But 2, I guess this kind of proves it.
I know. I think people often forget that players have it difficult in the trade world, but also not that they get traded, not that that's the word we use, but coaches move around. It's kind of like the same thing going on. And it can be messy, it can be confusing, it can be strange or whatever, but I think people don't really think of it the same. Like, it's just as hard on them as players contract-wise.
Yeah.
You know, like...
Well, it sounds like from what the media conversations have been is that the Bruins were trying to re-up Jim's contract as well.
Mm-hmm.
And they could not land on a deal. There's been a lot of speculation about it's been previously mentioned that Jim had wanted to bring in some of his own staff.
Mm-hmm.
The Bruins had said no to that. So was that a factor? Was he looking for a longer contract and they said no to that? Was that a factor? There's been a lot of speculation. There's no confirmation on either side of what it was. So it potentially sounds like maybe this is all speculation. Speculation. Huge disclaimer.
Yeah.
But like,
put it up here.
Yeah, maybe this was coming either way,
right?
Because there was just a lack of understanding on both sides around the contract, and it's kind of what bled into everything else potentially.
Yeah, and I think the Bruins room and higher ups are very private, so obviously we'll never. I mean, everyone's private in a league like that, but I think especially with the Bruins, just because I don't know if it's because we're, an original six or something, but they hold themselves like to a very high standard. So I think they want to keep things under wrap. But I will say to that, what the common denominator is to not being able to land on a contract is Don Sweeney. That's all I'll say. So that seems to be
we look at other coaching statistics.
Yes.
Of this Sweeney area.
Yes.
We have Claude Julien was hired within 7 days of no longer being a Bruins coach. You have Bruce Cassidy, 8 days. You have Jim Montgomery, 5 days. They are all award-winning coaches. And I know Bruce Cassidy won the Stanley Cup after he left. Did Claude Julien as well after he left won it the next year? Or was it just Bruce Cassidy?
I think it might just be Bruce, but someone can fact check us on that.
Feel free to fact check us.
Yeah, let us know. But they did well.
And now who is Jim Montgomery's assistant coach?
Yeah, let's talk about that. Do we think that have they had a night out to just discuss, the Bruins? I think so. I would.
They had to have.
I'd love to be a fly on the wall.
I do it all the time. Like, if I know somebody that left a company that I used to work for, we're definitely catching up and talking about the tea.
Right. Like, it's human nature,
I want to hear the stories. Right. I want to hear the stories from years ago and now and see how similar they are.
I know.
Because we know there's not a lot that has changed. I mean.
Right. We can see that. Yeah.
Add Joe Sacco into the conversation and then.
What do you got?
Chaos. You got chaos.
Yeah.
Oh. But speaking of Joe Sacco.
Yeah.
We've now had 2 wins under his belt. But here's what I want to talk about before we talk about the games.
Yes.
Is it because Joe Sacco is now the head coach? Or is it that the guys decided to get their butts in gear? Or is it that they got somebody fired?
Right.
And they're like, crap, we suck.
Yeah. Because they all, I don't know, I've never seen that before where the players are outright like so upset and disappointed and like take responsibility for that and be like, yeah, we literally lost this guy his job because we aren't playing how we're supposed to be playing.
Yes.
I think they all genuinely were like, oh crap, like we really have to, maybe that was like the, what do they call it, like the whip they needed or something to really shake off whatever the heck was going on. But I mean, I'll take it, because at least these games are good to watch again, because I will say they looked completely different too, these past games.
For sure. Well, so we recorded Wednesday, so nope, we recorded Tuesday. So Wednesday, obviously there was media availability with the coaches and the players. And I think all three captains, Margie, Pasta, and McAvoy, all had really great responses as captains. I think Coyle also did media that day, and Sway also did media that day, maybe.
Yeah.
And listen, give Coyle back his A. He deserves that A.
I'd love to see it.
I will stand on that hill.
Yeah.
And I will die on that hill. But his responses were also really great.
Yes.
And I think, like, they know they messed up, in my opinion. Like, you cost somebody their livelihood. Granted, it's a great coach that is then able to obviously get another job within 5 days. But at the end of the day, like, yes, somebody lost their job because you guys weren't doing yours. Like, I cannot imagine having that pressure.
I'd feel terrible. I would, for sure.
And then you have to go out 48 hours later.
Yeah.
And get on the ice and perform.
And they were getting booed that last game. Like, pretty bad. Which, you know what? Fair enough. However, I would not want to hear that either.
No. So, Thursday, we were home.
Who did we play?
Utah.
Oh, right.
Which, if you guys don't know my backstory, I am a Utah sympathizer because I was a Coyotes fan. I was really torn up about it. So,
understandable.
Yes, I lived in Tucson when the Roadrunners were brought back to Tucson in 2016. I worked in property management, so a few of the Tucson employees and a few of the Tucson players lived at my properties that I worked at. And one of the girlfriends worked with me, who's now a wife and mom, but
that's
worked with me at one of the properties. So I am a huge Coyotes, now Utah fan because of that. Because a lot of the guys that played on the Tucson Roadrunners then, of course, got called up, and now
now they're on. Yeah.
So I always have a hard time with playing them in the Wild. They're my backup teams.
I like the Wild too. Yeah.
I mean, listen, the Wild are doing.
I know.
Sign me up. They're doing great. But Thursday we played Utah at home. Lots of booing.
Yeah.
It was loud on TV. I could only imagine being there.
Did we is that the one that we only got one goal? Yeah, right?
Yeah, we won 1-0. We got one goal.
I was
on
shocked.
A power play.
I was shocked. Yeah.
And it was by
Elias,
who had not scored since, I want to say it was October 12th or October 15th. But he had played, he hadn't sat out a game in that time and hadn't scored in over a month. Margie and Pasta had assists.
Which I'll take.
Yes. The other important part about this game was our dear, sweet friend, Jeffrey Viel, had gotten sent back to Providence before this game.
Which, you know what? I'm kind of okay with that experiment just being, just keep him in Providence. He has an A down in Providence as well. I think he's doing well down there. So.
Well, listen. Then Costi threw down. Kostlik was like, let's go. Twice. And that's what I think we were saying last week too versus this week. Viel was he's not a random guy. I'm fully aware, people. But in the perspective of the world of the Bruins, he's a random guy to these players, as opposed to like Kostlik's been with them in the trenches every game.
Right.
is on our magical fourth line that hasn't been very magical lately, but is on our magical fourth line that was producing so well at the beginning of the season. Yeah. These guys know him. These guys love him. And he threw down not once, but twice. And you could see the team get ready to roll with it.
Yeah.
Like, they were fired up.
It was good. It was great. And this, I'll point to, is great timing. I feel like you have to, I mean, not all the time things happen, but for why I think he was fighting to like get his team all hyped up, he had great timing. Obviously, that second one I think was just to get unfinished business done, but that was great to watch. That was
100%.
I was so happy to see that. I was like, we're back this much.
We're back. We're coming.
Yeah, right.
We had 31 shots on goal. Utah had 22. We had 24 hits, which I think is notable. Even with all of the chaos, we had 18 penalty minutes.
Yeah.
We took 6 penalties. But Utah had 24 minutes of penalty time. They had 9 penalties. 2 of them were served together for one of the fights. So we had 8 power plays on Thursday night. We won 53% of the faceoffs. Like, when you look at our stats, we are really good with faceoffs.
And also, I just want to like quickly touch back to the fact that we had 31 shots, which that's huge for us.
Yes.
Because there were some games where they were just getting into the double digits by the end of the game. Like, so 31, I feel we needed that. Just shoot it. It shows that we just have to shoot it more. And I mean, we only won by 1 goal. However, get it by the net. I don't know. Which is obvious, you would think.
Yeah. Is Bedard overrated? I
don't know.
I have to look up his stats. I think a lot of the hype around Bedard, in my opinion, is just from the history recently of the Blackhawks. You have this team that has had
some past stuff.
They've had a lot of players that have made very poor decisions and are not great humans.
Yeah.
And so I think you have the Blackhawks that are just trying to rebuild from like a PR standpoint.
Right.
And you have this talent. He is a talented guy.
He's a generational player, as they say.
And when you look at, like, very recently, I just tweeted something about him. One of the interviews that he just gave, like, was an incredible interview. And he was saying how he needs to step up and he needs to, like, be in the room more. He needs to be producing more. And I think from somebody who's so young, that's really encouraging to hear. He's 19 years old.
And I will say, I don't want to say he's overrated, only because I think, especially with social media, I feel so bad for these rookies because they're under a spotlight way more than even 10 years ago. I feel like it's way different. So from that standpoint, because I think of myself at like 17, 18, I'm like, I would not want all of these cameras, all of these articles about me, all of these everything. Like, you get a whole new life that you're showing.
And his stats aren't bad. So he played 68 games last year. He had 61 points, so almost 1 point per game. He had a 38% for face-offs. He was negative 44 last year. But I think part of that is just like the Blackhawks themselves last year were also not a great team either.
Which now they're the Bruins 2.0.
Yeah. And then this year he's played 21 games so far, 15 points, -6, 29% for face-off, 19.25 for time on ice per game. Last year was 19.47. So, I mean, for a rookie player, that's a lot. That's a third of the game. That's what Marchand That's what Pasta plays. That's what CMAC plays.
And I think that this is where I'm jealous, if you'll say, because they have Foligno, they have Maroon.
Yeah.
They have
Maroon.
I mean, mainly those two, though. I will take one of those back on the Bruins because I feel like their locker room voice is so special, and there's not a lot of guys like that anymore.
Yeah.
So I think that has a huge part in his development. So I'm happy that he has Pliggy, especially because that's just a great guy to have as your leader and personal friend.
And Maroon too. Like I remember Maroon saying last year how he wanted to like take younger players under his wing.
Yeah.
So his son is in the juniors right now, and the stuff he posts about his son playing is so cute.
I know. I'll say this every time, but usually the meanest and toughest guys on the ice in real life typically are the nicest humans ever. Like, it is so funny. It's night and day.
Yes.
But he is a great example of that too. I mean, I'm sure he has his moments. We all do. But it's just funny to see these monsters on the ice, and then off the ice, they're so sweet. So
sure. So to answer your question, we both say no, but already is not overrated.
Yeah.
But the other thing from Thursday night's game with Utah I want to touch on is Merck.
Yeah.
And he got sent down after this game. We had seen that he was put on power play.
Mm-hmm.
And I personally felt like he was making an impact on the power play. The power play looked a lot better Thursday night and Saturday when they played against Detroit. But then he got sent back down to Providence. And then he did great in Providence. He just scored the game-winning goal in overtime in Providence on Saturday.
And I saw a tweet recently where it was saying, how much more do you want him to do in Providence than what he's done and he is doing for him to have a full spot up here? Like, and I know there's probably logistics and whatever, cap people, we got to move people, whatnot. But that's so true. He, as everyone does, has his ups and downs, but we know he's a good player. And I was never, I'll admit it, like, even last year, I was not sold completely on him. I was not his biggest, like, fan, advocate, whatever. Now I am, because I don't know what I was missing, but I just don't understand why. I loved where they were putting him. I loved how he was playing. He was meshing with the guys. Why? I don't understand. So that was interesting to me.
It's strange.
Yeah.
And it's not like, we talk about them a lot, I'm fully aware, but it's not like Tufte and Jones where we pull them up from Providence and it doesn't translate. For some reason, it just, they play so well in Providence and it just does not translate when we pull them up to Boston. Mm-hmm. When we pull Mark up, he does well. He contributes. He makes plays on the ice. He plays third line, and I think he does well. Yeah. I think Saturday we saw, so we can kind of go there. Saturday we played against Detroit. We ended up winning 2-1. Roster moves. We saw Merck go down. Yep. McLaughlin got called up. I think that's our magic. We're great.
Yeah.
We talked about him last week. He did not play, but he did travel with the team for this game. But we saw Tyler Johnson on the same line. Excuse me, that Merck was on, but switched sides. He swapped. Freddie swaps wings all the time. There's here you go.
I love him on his off wing. Just keep him on the right.
Yes.
He's not a center. I'm so sorry. I know he's listed as a center, and he played center very well in college. If you look at his college stats, not anymore.
Nope.
He needs to just stay on the right wing. And I hate when they say
that he does really well with Coyle,
that. Yeah, that too. But something about him being on his like. I hate when they switch him. Whenever they announce that they're switching him to the left, I'm like, well, now he's not going to play well.
And it's all the time.
It is.
Like, they just all the time.
Right. And then people want to be like, he's inconsistent. He's not, which again, I'll say he is inconsistent right now, and he's not playing that great right now. I understand. However, maybe just give him a little bit of grace because he's getting moved all around all the time. I would love to see someone do some data or whatever on who gets moved the most or who gets different line mates the most. I would think it's him or Coyle, to be honest, between the two of them.
Yeah, because Coyle stays third center pretty much, but whoever's with him gets changed a lot.
Yeah. So I would love to know that, actually.
Somebody let us know. I mean, we could probably run it ourselves, but that feels like a lot of work.
Yeah. But to McLaughlin, I want to see him in a game, which obviously, because
maybe tomorrow.
I was going to say, I feel like when Sacco because he had media availability today, he said something along the lines of he's going to get into a game soon. But I'm like, do you mean soon as in tomorrow? Or how long are you just going to have him hanging around? Which, at least he's up here. I'll give him that. At least he's up here. They can put him in. I would love to see it be tomorrow.
I'm trying to find the practice lines from this morning. I don't remember seeing them.
Oh, yeah, I don't remember seeing them, actually. At all. Yeah, I didn't.
I posted them.
What else do I want to say while you're looking that up? I'm looking at our... Okay, also, I'll say it. I'm very underwhelmed with Johnson right now.
Yeah.
I was expecting much more, especially because he is older. Maybe he has a great locker room voice. Maybe. But a little iffy. I don't know. I'm not confident about that.
Yeah.
But I just don't see his impact right now.
Did Scott post them? Ty did not. So
also, we got another power play goal that night.
We did, yes. Mm-hmm. That night we had Braz.
Yep.
We say we didn't see anything from Tyler, but Tyler was an assist with Mason, and then Marchand scored in the third with Peak and Pasta on the assists. We had nothing in the second at all. Yep. I mean, we had some shots, but nobody scored. I don't see practice lines from any of the usual people this morning.
Yeah, I thought I missed them.
They did have practice today, right?
Yes. I know they had practice.
Bruins practice. Latest. Twitter people, I rely on you.
Also, we get the return of DeBrusque, Heinen, and Forbert tomorrow.
That's going to be...
I'm wondering how they're going to do... You know how they do return videos, like Welcome Home? Yes. Are they going to do one big long one, or are we going to do one in each period? Or... Curious to see how
nobody drops the practice. Oh wait, here we go. Monday practice line. Geeky Zaka Pasta, Marchie Lindholm Braz, Frederick Coyle Johnson, Beecher / McLaughlin, Kostelik, Kopke.
Interesting. Okay.
And then Lowry McAvoy, Wotherspoon, Carlo, Zadorov, Peak, Austral as the seventh. Okay. So pretty consistent lines from what we saw the last two games.
Yeah, nothing. I'll take it.
It's really interesting having Beecher and McLaughlin switching out, though.
I'm not a fan of sitting Beecher, ever. I'm not really.
And that's having Freddie play on the left again.
Which, why? Especially because you're having the other person on that line be Johnson.
Yeah.
Honestly, what if they tried Marshy, Lindholm, Johnson, try putting him up one with those guys and not dropping Braz, but put Braz back with Coyle and Trent. I don't hate them together.
No.
And then that's a pretty big boy line, too. That'd be a big third line if you had Braz, Coyle, and Trent together.
But I think we kind of need a power line because
we need, I don't know.
And I like keeping these D pairs together, though. I think these D pairs have been great the last 2 games.
Especially, honestly, I'll also be an advocate for Parker Wotherspoon all the time because he's very underrated and he gets stuff done. Does he make some mistakes? Obviously.
Yeah.
But his good outcomes and his good efforts, for me personally, cancel out the mistakes that he makes. And he's making way less than when he first was starting to be on this roster consistently.
In my mind, like, he's not doing anything bad.
Yeah, like, it's not bad enough to right.
He's fine because he's not doing anything bad necessarily. Okay, now that I'm not distracted looking up stats. So Saturday, Detroit 1-2-1. Sway was in net. So he looked totally different.
Right.
He had some fight in him. I'm pretty sure I saw a little smile on his face, which if you know the lore of like the Psycho Sway aspect of life, like dude will be in the bottom of a dog pile and be smiling and laughing. And that's how you know like he is on his game though. He had 19 saves.
I'll take it.
Only 1 goal in the first period.
Yep.
But I mean, Sway looked really good. I was kind of surprised, but also not.
Yeah, I think it had to do huge with they all got that slap in the face. And I feel as if maybe reality just really sunk in or something.
Yeah.
Something.
Well, and I guess like looking at their schedule last week, like they went 4 games in 7 days and then 2 games in 7 days. So he did get like 5 days off before he played on Saturday. Other stats from the game, we had 29 shots on goal. Again, I think when we get above like that 25 mark is really like when we do better. You see statistically overall, like when we have 25, 30 goals on net is when we tend to win most of the time. Unless we're playing the Columbus Blue Jackets for some reason and they match shot for shot, whatever. 23 hits versus 9 with the Red Wings had 9. 8 minutes and penalties. Detroit had 4. We won 55% of the face-offs against the Red Wings.
Love that too.
Like I'm telling you, like we are great at face-offs. If we could just get the rest of it.
Right.
But I think we looked a lot better these last 2 games. I don't know if it is the consistency with lines. I don't know if it's just these lines. We've seen success with these exact lines previously in the I want to say semester in the season. I really like these D pairs together.
Yes, that's key for sure, I think, is the solid D and not switching them all around as well. Obviously. Everything's like obviously, but it wasn't obvious there for a second. So
yes. And I think part of it is just like the mentality of it, right? Like I think Mason and Charlie McAvoy really complement each other.
Yes.
I don't think they're both super fiery when they need to be, but it's never like
too much.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I like this roster currently as it is.
Yeah.
With like maybe a Potsy. But let's also chat about our sweet Potsy, because he has not been doing great in Providence, except he did have 2 assists on Friday or Saturday.
Yes.
But, we keep saying we want Potsy back, but I also would not be pulling him up.
I know, and I don't know if it's because maybe he got like a little discouraged or something like that.
Really sad in one of the media interviews last week.
Yeah, which also, I mean, everyone wants to be like, it's a professional hockey league. Like, what do you want us to do? Cater to your emotions? Obviously not.
Cater to mine. They're friends.
Yeah, cater to the fans. No. Yeah, I understand, but it's also like, I felt like before they sent him down, he was doing all right. I don't know what made him randomly get chosen to be the one sent down, because we were really bad as a team there. And I saw tweets about this. He had some of the better numbers, 5-on-5, and with his line mates. And there was nothing. I will say the one thing, everyone will say it, he does have to like keep his head up a little more hit wise. So maybe they were literally doing it to prevent a bigger injury or something. Yeah. But because he was getting hit hard, like almost every game there for a little bit. So I don't know if they were maybe doing it for that reason, but it was very random. Caught me by surprise when they sent him down.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah. So I feel for him down there, though, because I could understand. I would be struggling a little with that hurdle I got to
overcome. 5'11".
His height?
Yeah.
He's definitely lying about that. He's got to be 5'9". Whenever
like, they 5'11" on skates?
Yeah. You added your skate. Yeah.
I feel like especially when you see him in pictures next to Mason, he looks so tiny.
He's this big. No offense.
181, 5'11"-ish. He's a tinier dude.
Yeah, he is. He did bulk up a little in this offseason, though. I think he said he gained like 13 pounds or something.
That's actually pretty awesome. That's pretty insane to do in an offseason.
Maybe I'm way off. Maybe it was just 9. I don't know why 9 and 13 are sticking out to me. Let me know, Maddie P. I know you're totally going to watch this.
Maddie P.
Let me know.
Maddie P, if you ever watch this and want to like chat with us, let us know.
Tell us your real height.
Tell us your real height.
Come on now.
I always wonder. Never mind.
Inside bubble.
Inside thought,
yeah, inside thought.
What other things did you notice in these last 2 games that you feel like were a big improvement?
I felt life again in them. It's huge for me. I felt they looked like they wanted to be there. So
yeah. It seems Saco is a short-term solution. Nothing to get excited about. Just saying.
No, for sure. I think I think we all knew that, like, because I was curious what they were gonna do, because I don't really know. I feel like 2-3 seasons ago, there were a bunch of coaches kind of like circling around that were options, and now they're all settled. So I don't know who they're gonna get, but no, for sure it's definitely just for the rest of this season.
Yeah,
postseason. If we get there. But
and Sweeney has said that too, that this is not necessarily the head coach, coach. This is, they made a decision within 24 hours that they were going to be letting Monty go.
Yeah.
Saco has been around for his 11th season with the Bruins. So it's definitely not short term. I think potentially if he proves himself, it could be, but I don't necessarily see that happening.
Right. And I think, honestly, I mean, I will say, like, I am excited they're winning again, just because obviously we want our team to win. So I'm just taking everything with a grain of salt, game by game type thing.
Yeah.
I'm just glad we're winning again. So, and we see it all the time when head coaches get fired, unless you're the ex-head coach of the St. Louis Blues. Your assistant coach will just take over. Very rarely do you get fired and replaced by, we see it all the time.
So like they're bringing in a new coach and you get fired, as opposed to you're getting fired and they don't have a plan, so they promote the head coach. Like the Bruins kind of did this a little backwards from what we typically see. Not that it's not ever done, but this is just not what we typically see happen.
So I don't know. I think it was clear that they were going to go with Sacco, and obviously I think they're going to look down avenues whenever they, maybe they are right now. Like, we don't even know what they're thinking, but so yeah, I'm just happy we're winning. So, I mean, obviously we're not going to win every other game from here on out. Very unlikely. Yeah, right. Please. But I mean, I'll take a win. I'll take a good, even I was to the point where I will take a loss if we just look like we want to be there and just play the actual.
It's not 7-2, 5-2.
Yeah. I want to watch a game and be like, I'm enjoying this right now.
Yeah.
Even if we lose.
Have some fight. Like.
Right. So, I mean, obviously the short-term solution was Sacco, most likely.
Yeah.
But I'm just happy to be out of this literal depression that they were in or something. Like, they were in a slump, like a big slump. I'm just happy to be out of it for now.
Well, and we have like an interesting schedule. Yeah, I guess I'll say. So we're at home tomorrow. Oh yeah, this is the day we have back-to-backs. Mm-hmm. We're home tomorrow against Vancouver.
Yep.
So we have the return of half of the Boston Bruins. Not really. 3 Bruins.
Big one being Jake DeBrusk.
Jake DeBrusk, who has been on fire. He has been on fire lately.
He's going to get a hattie tomorrow. Watch him get a hattie.
He had 2 goals in their game on Saturday. I don't know my days anymore.
His revenge tour is it's truly happening right now.
Yes. And you guys, I love like half of Vancouver's roster. Like
Quinn Hughes.
Connor Garland. Yeah. Connor Garland also played on the Tucson Roadrunners from 2016 to 2018. Mm-hmm. I also ran into him in a hotel a few years ago.
Yep.
And I did not say hi because I was too scared.
Fair.
I promptly ran away. I have like a Snapchat of him behind me in the coffee line, though. Yeah. Promptly ran away after that because I was too scared to say hi.
Yeah.
He has no idea who I am. It's fine.
I'm just a girl.
I'm just a girl. But like you have half of the Bruins
right
there. I mean, I really hope that they do play like either a tribute video for each of our guys.
Yeah.
No longer our guys.
I feel like
who's the third one? Heinen, DeBrusk,
and Forbert.
Oh, yeah.
However, I don't know if I was talking with my mom about this earlier. I don't know if he's back with the team yet. Because I know that he just had like a family loss recently. So I don't know. Because I obviously.
No, I was looking at this earlier actually, and
I don't keep up with them enough closely to.
His estimated return date is December 6th.
Okay. So he won't even be there.
JT Miller is currently out. We do not know why it's potentially like mental health reasons. He's taking a step back from the game right now. Mm-hmm. Connor Garland is actually day to day, and Brock Boser is day to day.
Yeah.
They're both have an estimated return date of today, tomorrow, though.
I bet you they both
like listed as day-to-day too.
Do we? Didn't he just play? Yeah, he just played.
That's what I thought too.
Interesting.
I think ESPN is lying to me.
Yeah. Because he just played.
Yeah. Weird. I think tomorrow's going to be a very interesting game.
For
specifically
sure.
Just because of the trade. Like,
right, because
people got feelings.
Yeah. I'm almost wondering if he's going to get like booed at all.
DeBrusque?
Yeah, because people even before when he was still on the team,
he had like requested the trade.
Right, and people were not a fan of that. However many years ago that was now. So I know he has some serious ops in Boston, if you will. So I'm curious how tomorrow goes. Frankly, I will not be a booer. I will be actually on Vancouver side for warm-ups with my friends tomorrow. So
you could not pay me to boo him.
Yeah.
That's a lie. If you want to pay me to boo him, my rate is $1,000. I will happily boo this man for you. Not happily, but I will boo him for $1,000.
I'd need a milli. I'd
Cash
need a
App and Venmo are in my Twitter bio. But I've like he had asked for trades for like 2 seasons in a row. Like he was
under
not
Bruce
happy.
Cassidy, should we say though? It was under Bruce.
True.
So, which Bruce Cassidy has, what's the word? He also had conspiracies, I'll say. Like there was big talk that there were a lot of people that weren't a fan of him in that room.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Coaching style. This is what we mean by like Boston hockey, y'all. Boston hockey is different. Then the next day we go to the Islanders, which that's a game we nope.
Okay.
That's a game we should win, but could go either way.
You never know these days.
Yeah. $1,000 for the entire game. If you want to pay me $1,000, I will angrily tweet about Jake DeBrusque. Feel free.
We need proof of the Venmo before she does it, though.
Friday we play Pittsburgh at home.
And they've sucked lately. Peace and love.
If we don't win that game, I'll be pissed. But didn't we lose to them already this season?
Probably, to be honest with you. Have we played? Yeah, we've definitely played them, right?
At home? Thought so, but maybe not. Philadelphia. Maybe we haven't played them yet. I thought
that'd be interesting.
But if we don't win that, I'm gonna be very angry. And then we play Montreal on Sunday, which it is the Centennial game. I think it's fun. It's gonna be a really fun game. It's a 3:00 game, which is such a weird time.
I hate those. I hate those more than like 1:00 or like 10.
They're all like tomorrow is 7. Wednesday is 7:30. Friday is 6:30, but Friday is thrown into array because it's Black Friday.
Yeah, right.
So that's at 6:30, and then Sunday's at 3.
Very random.
And then Monday off, and then we go back to Detroit. It's a weird schedule this week. This is a jam-packed week. And then we play back-to-back Tuesday, Wednesday. And then we don't play until Sunday.
That's a weird schedule.
Yeah. 26th, 27th, 29th. 1st, 3rd, 4th, 7th. 10th, 12th, 14th.
Will be an interesting the outcomes for this little, whatever you want to call this little chunk of games.
Yeah.
These will be good games. Well, good games in the sense of getting a feel for their energy and their effort now.
Yeah.
Past these, because who knows, maybe these past 2 wins have been a fluke even. So I think we'll really see based off the different teams that we're playing and how the levels are kind of like all over the place a little. I mean, I wouldn't say any of those teams are Winnipeg level good right now. I don't think. However, that hasn't seemed to matter lately with us. So my point still stands.
Vancouver could go either way because of the trade. I think that changes the dynamic of the game. Mm-hmm. But I think potentially we win. But honestly, I think we probably lose.
I think it's going to be OT too tomorrow.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I think Islanders, we win.
Yeah.
And I apologize to my big sister in my sorority because she's a diehard Islanders fan and she will hate me for saying that. So sorry, Megan. I love you so much. But we're going to beat the Islanders on Wednesday, and I love it. Friday, if we don't beat Pittsburgh,
I'll be embarrassed.
Yeah.
Literally embarrassed.
Sunday.
Either way, again. I feel
either way. I think whenever we play Montreal, I think those games could always go either way because that rivalry is so huge. And I think the players feel it. I think it's going to be the 100th centennial game. There's going to be a lot of big alumni in the room.
Right.
So potentially, if the guys buy into that, but I don't know that we currently have a room that's going to buy into that history piece of it.
Right. I would love to see, all I'm asking for that game is a Trent fight because I will say he does love to get into those, the special nights and stuff like that. Yes. So he'll probably be jacked up, to be honest.
Yes.
So I'm expecting, I want all of them to just be feisty and just, I don't know. Montreal's like a young roster. So
I honestly have not paid any attention to them this year.
Like they're big names, I want to say.
They are 7-11-2 right now, 8th in the Atlantic.
So we should win, but again, you never know with us. But they have Gallagher. I don't like Gallagher. He's older on their team. They have Suzuki. And they have Cole Caulfield.
I love watching that man play.
He's another one. What's his height say?
Cole Caulfield. His says 5'8". He is an honest human.
Thank you. Yep, that's more like it. So no, that means he's really 5'6". No, I'm kidding. Yeah, now I'm just being mean, but who else do they have on there? Oh, they have that what's that guy? He has a nickname too. His name starts with an A. I want to say his last name starts with an X. Like Arbor.
Yes. I am not going to say his last name correctly. Yes. We already know I don't do well with last names. Yeah.
I got no clue on
Arbor from Hamilton, Canada.
Yep. They got
Tyler Wotherspoon.
Oh my gosh, they must have called him up. Because that is his brother. Yeah. And he had been playing in the AHL last year because my friends and I had seen him when they played in Providence, whichever little AHL team he was on. But love that. I love that. Awesome.
I love when siblings play against each other. I think it is so funny for some reason.
Great.
Maybe that's just because I'm really competitive and I would love to play against my siblings and something like this.
Especially in a big league.
Yes.
I would love it.
Yes.
Yeah. So that should be good.
I think the goalie situation over the next 4 days is going to be crazy though. Or next 4 games.
Dare I say, let's do a little tandem action for these.
I am all for the tandem on weeks like this.
Why not? It's November. It's almost December. It's still early.
Like, give them both. They both have the talent to back it up.
Right.
I think on weeks when we have a few days between games, I think that's a different situation. But I think when you have 24 hours between games, 48 hours and 48 hours.
Yeah.
I think your brain gets tired.
Right. I think my prediction tomorrow is definitely going to be a Sway game. And then so Wednesday will be Corpy. But after that, I got no clue. Like,
I think they're going to play Sway in the Centennial. Just.
Oh, yeah. You're right about that for sure. Mm-hmm.
So, I think a rotation, though, is just.
And who played? Okay, so Sway played versus Detroit here. So maybe they'll put Corpy in when they're in Detroit. Yeah. I'd like that. I'd like to see it.
I'm all for a good rotation.
I think we're in for a good little next chunk of games here. Wait, let me get my calendar out also.
You'll be there tomorrow at the game?
I will. I will be there tomorrow. Maybe I'll put some. Oh, you know what I'll try and do? I'll try and record if they do it. Well, I mean, I know they'll do a video, but
yeah,
I'll try and get that.
That'd be cool.
Recorded.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Anything else this week, Liv?
I don't think so. I think we covered everything really.
Yeah.
If we're missing anything, you can go find us on Twitter and yell at us. Let us know what you want to hear about.
Yes, we are going to get an Instagram up and going.
Yes.
I said I would and haven't gotten to it yet.
By next episode, we'll have
we'll have an Instagram. We've been working on some new graphics for game day stuff.
Yes.
So we'll have some more fun stuff coming out. This is episode 3, so we're still settling in here, y'all.
Yeah. Yep.
But I forgot the second half of that thought. It's gone. It's gone forever. Goodbye, thought. But yeah, I think that's it for this week, y'all. So we got 4 games coming up. We'll be back Monday for the next episode, probably the same time. And like we said, we want to keep recording on Monday, Tuesday, but it just depends on the schedule. So since we play Sunday, Tuesday next week, we'll record Monday.
Yes.
And try to keep it as consistent as we can. Liv and I do not believe in recording when there is a game on, and neither of us are staying up that late to record an episode because we love you all so much, but we don't have
we need sleep. Yeah.
Yes. Liv, where can the people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Front Frederick.
Perfect. You can find the podcast on Twitter at Causeway Chirps. We will try to keep the same username when we set up Instagram this week, but stay tuned to our Twitter. We'll announce it on there. Yes. You can find me, whatever social media your heart desires, at HyperEmmy, but Twitter is where most of my hockey thoughts live.
Yes.
God bless anybody that tries to read them and understand them. I don't know what they are. Other than that, we will see you guys all next week.
See ya. Bye.